My name is Chloe, and I am your typical 25-year-old woman living in a bustling city. I have always been passionate about cars. Since I was a little girl, I dreamed of owning a stunning vehicle that turned heads wherever I went. I worked hard for my modest salary as a graphic designer, pouring my creative energy into every project. But despite my dedication, I often felt like my life was stuck in a rut, especially when I would drive my outdated sedan that had seen better days. It felt like a reflection of my lack of excitement and fulfillment in life. One day, while scrolling through social media, I came across an advertisement for the latest sleek sports car. The images sent a thrilling rush through me, and I became obsessed with the idea of owning it. I imagined how my friends and even strangers would look at me differently behind the wheel of something so fabulous. They would admire me, seeing me as someone who had made it in life. I decided to take the plunge, sacrificing my savings to buy the car I had coveted. It felt like the best decision ever, until the thrill wore off and reality set in. The car arrived, and at first I felt on top of the world. I drove it everywhere, relishing every admiring glance. But as days turned into weeks, I began to notice something unsettling. My friends grew jealous, and one of my closest friends, Sarah, turned practically cold towards me. It was as if she saw me as bragging rather than celebrating my achievement. She would make sarcastic comments about my car being too flashy and how I had changed. I couldn't understand her bitterness. I had always been supportive of her milestones, yet here she was, looking down on me for my new pride and joy. Things took an even worse turn when one day, I returned from a long day at work to find my car scratched and dented by someone in my building's parking lot. Anxiety washed over me as I discovered that Sarah had taken photos of the damage and was sharing them with our group of friends, mocking me for spending so much on a car that could not even be protected in the parking lot. I felt my heart sink as I realized how people were now talking behind my back, doubting my choices, and belittling my achievement. I tried to confront Sarah, but every time I brought it up, she would brush it off, leaving me feeling more isolated and enraged. I decided that I needed to prove her and everyone else wrong. I could not let this issue continue to haunt me. I took to social media, showing off my car and all the adventures I took with it. I believed if I showcased my life with confidence, it would silence the critics. But every post was met with more negativity. I would receive comments like, "Bragging would not fix a damaged car, Chloe," or "Glad you enjoy being a target for jealousy." At that point, I was hitting rock bottom, feeling humiliated by Sarah's judgment and my own failed attempts to make everyone see my car as a symbol of achievement rather than a superficial purchase. Desperate not to remain a victim, I decided it was time to strike back with a plan. As Sarah continued to ridicule and belittle me among our peers, I thought of a way to turn the tables and reclaim my power. I secretly concocted a plan to invite everyone to an upcoming weekend gathering at my place, announcing that I would be unveiling a very special surprise. Intrigue buzzed among my friends, and for the first time in months, I felt hope flickering like a flame inside me. On the day of the gathering, I arranged for a stunt driver to showcase incredible maneuvers with my car in a controlled environment. I wanted everyone to see that the car was worth more than just a superficial object. It was also about the fun and experiences we could share. As the car roared to life, my friends stood aghast, and I could see their jaws drop as they watched skillful drifts and breathtaking feats. Sarah, among the crowd, could only watch in disbelief as the dynamic demonstration unfolded, and I felt like I was on cloud nine. The performance concluded with a spectacular spin and a shower of confetti raining down. I suddenly found myself in the limelight I had long desired, surrounded by friends cheering and genuinely admiring the car and me for the first time. Even Sarah was left stunned, realizing that her jealousy had blinded her to the joy that my passion for the car had created. The tension melted away, and in that moment, I felt a sense of satisfaction that was far deeper than mere validation. But I had one more twist in my plan. I knew that it would not be enough just to win this battle. I wanted to take the fight back to Sarah and make it clear that I would no longer let her negativity affect me. After the stunts, I gathered everyone around and with a grin, I said, "I am grateful for the support of friends, and for those who cannot appreciate my journey, I wish you well but will no longer let their shadows loom over my light." Everyone clapped, and I could see Sarah squirming in her seat. In the end, my car became more than just an object of desire. It became a symbol of my resilience and determination. I learned that revenge does not always come from malice. Sometimes, It is about rising above challenges and reminding those who doubted you of your worth. I continue to drive my car with pride, not seeking validation from anyone else, but embracing the freedom and happiness it represented in my life. My friendships transformed, and while some faded, I built stronger connections with those who celebrated my achievements genuinely. Sarah eventually apologized, admitting that she was envious of my boldness. I forgave her, as I had no desire to carry the weight of resentment. As time passed, my new normal felt liberating. I had found not just a beautiful car, but also a deeper understanding of not only who I am, but also who I want to be. From that day forth, I drove knowing I had conquered not just the challenges, but also my own insecurities.